Before we to it, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, as you always. Watch full video.
He was telling his people too on the phone that he got problems with his head. He got severe headaches and shit. Police didn't get no about that. When they say he have an overdose. So I guess he was doing. But on the autopsy, they found out he had a tumor on his brain.
Ooh.
You know, he was locked up for about 6 years. He probably had that shit in his head for about 6 years.
They said he overdosed, but his mom said that on DJU, his mom said that he fell out the bed and supposed to hit his head. That's what the police told him.
For the record, my son did not die of a drug overdose.
Let's start there.
Yeah. He was just mishandled in there.
The wrong way.
And, yeah, I had to find out.
That's sad as hell, bro. And it'd be crazy, like when you hear about like jails or prisons that are, like not great. Talking about like the conditions, like dirty water, rats, roaches, like filth type of stuff, and they talk about it like it's a good thing. Like, bro, like y'all are study building new jails. Once they go fix some of the ones that you currently have, like how I've heard a few times the jail in Chicago where P Diddy is. I've heard that it's run down, it's corroded, it's this, it's that. Why don't y'all go fix it then? If it's like that, why are y'all talking about it on the news like it's a good thing? Go fix this place up. And if you can't, move these people out of here, because it's still like, yes, all right, some people, hey, if you've done some horrible crimes, hey, maybe you probably deserve to be there. But for people who have done petty crimes, regular stuff, not regular stuff, petty stuff, move them up out of there. But then again, you get everybody up out of there, because again, it's still about human rights, bro. Like, you got people in a building that's corroded, rats, roaches, the food disgusting, it's health violations, all type of stuff. Yeah, still got people living in here. Like, that's crazy.
On Facebook, they didn't call me or nothing. I gave my son a second autopsy, and it wasn't a drug overdose.
Hey, yo, squad, what's the drill? Back with another video, man.
That's crazy.
The effects of the drill scene stretch further than just the rap game in the streets. Oftentimes, these rappers and street soldiers find themselves behind bars for decades, still having to rep and deal with the repercussions of the life that they chose to live on the outside. While it's true that once you lock down, people forget about you, when you had a name in the streets and a bit of internet clout, you don't go completely forgotten. But it just so happens that the only news that reaches the outside is the bad news. Makado 600's passing is the latest bit of bad news that has reached past those steel gates. Mr. Makado had a strong rep in the streets, and he was currently locked up on a serious case that could have had him behind bars long enough to live 2 lifetimes. Being found deceased in his cell, and his mother and family believed that there was foul play involved on behalf of Cook County. But just who was Makado 600?
Like that place right there. I've heard Cook County a lot of times, and it was never in a good light. Never like this place. It really be what's called rehabilitation. Or I can't even say the word. Y'all get make sure these people come in here, they learn their lesson, they come out, they go be some type of good part of society. And it's never that. It's always something bad. People passing away, CEOs getting caught doing this and doing that. Like, bruh.
As wild as the rep suggests, what really happened to him behind those walls? We're gonna find out. So without further ado, let's skip the play and get down to business. According to the internet, Makado was born in 1995 and came out of the south side of Chicago. He grew up with a story that is all too familiar but no less tragic and saddening. As his name would suggest, bruh was a BD roller with them 600 boys, and he grew up close with King Von, L.A. Capone, and even Durkio from a young age. Makado found himself entangled in the gritty realities of street life, where his everyday companions were just the most notable rappers in the scene as well as the alleged hitters. Naturally, he was down with the same lifestyle that his homies were, and a lot came with that.
I mean, on Steve, because it's in there. Back in on Steve is what you gotta drop. That's my 20 on Lizzie. This is a brand new 20, bro. You want shit in my face. Come on, man. You just picked up the 10. Come on, bro.
The least of which was love.
said
In
Steve
actuality,
like
love
5
didn't
times,
seem to
bro.
really live in Chicago on a deep level.
Hey, I gotta ask you, to the people in Chicago, like, is it just norm for everybody to say on Steve or Lil Steve or whatever, or is it only for people that knew him? Because it'd be like you hear that a lot, and I can't say I'm quite sure, but I am quite sure that every single one of y'all did not know this person. Some of y'all probably did, oh, this what we say from the hood? Okay, on Steve. Like, come on, bro. Like, if you didn't know that man, please stop saying that man's name.
The most love-deprived people in the community was, is, and always will be the youth. Surrounded by a lack of love and resources and hope, war became all they ever knew. Many believe Mac really made a turn for the worse when he first got hit up himself in the face.
Man, my favorite memory with Mac was right before he got shot before, you feel me? Mac got shot before he got shot in his face. I believe it was the same day that Lil Steve, I think he was with Lil Steve, man, and they was on the block, man. And
according to reports on September 19, 2011, Makado would get popped on the same day that Lil Steve from 600 lost his life on 60th and Prairie. For many years, people believed that it was Scrap and Moochie from MOB who did it. To this day, it's believed that Makado was undoubtedly one of the wild.
Oh, he just passed away. Okay. Now, my idea. I kind of take that statement back then, because I swear, like the way I be hearing it, that name Steve or Lil Steve so much, I would swear I was thinking it was somebody older, and like it's a lot of young dudes that be saying, and them are the ones I'm quite sure that. Come on, bro, ain't no way you knew this man. That's why I said this man, but it was young, 2011. Okay, I take it back.
There's members in 600.
Team 600 is a fierce set that were allied with Team 300 from O Block, but both groups are from 2 different areas. Makado was one, if not the top shooter from Team 600. His name stood for Makadouya, and he never hesitated to shoot.
He's allegedly been on hits with King Von and
I would
HK,
not
and
watch
it's
that
also
YouTube
rumored
channel,
that he
bro.
went with HK on the Kobe and Brick hit, allegedly.
Around the internet.
That ain't no rumor.
About Brick. Oh, well, I know rumor. But
they opened this case back up.
So they did?
Yeah, the cold case people picked it up. See? And I'm working on that now. I can't wait to, one of the suspects that they were going to charge wind up dying.
So that is true?
Yeah, they were trying to say that McAville had.
During that time, 2 suspects hopped out the whip, and one targeting Brick and the other engaging in a struggle with Cole. Ultimately, Cole was shot in the face and lost his life on the spot, while Brick attempted to escape but was fatally wounded while trying to jump a fence. Suspicion lingers that somebody may have been lying in wait on the other side of the gate, adding a sinister twist to the whole tragic event. We'll never truly know what went down, though. Some would say Makado's bond with HK grew stronger in 2017, thus turning into a tag team of terror on the block. However, nobody is bulletproof, and HK lost his life during an attempted robbery. Although some initially suspected Makado of betraying HK, it was later revealed that HK's demise resulted from a fight that ensued during an attempted robbery. Nevertheless, Makado faced blame from O Block residents and HK's family, who believed that he could have prevented the incident and he left Brother Meaty's demise after he got popped. Makado's life was a constant whirlwind of trouble and incarceration. As a teenager, he was no stranger to the juvenile system, always on the run, but everything changed on that fateful day. June 28, 2017, when 2 innocent women allegedly lost their lives at the hands of Makado and his homie Lil Scud. Juliet Washington and Janine Dowell, aka Nana and White Girl, were allegedly taken out. It's reported that they pulled up in a sedan behind Washington's vehicle at 10:30 p.m. at Wabash Avenue and Garfield Boulevard in Chicago. Sampson and Brown then allegedly approached Washington's vehicle with straps. Prosecutors added that Sampson fired at Washington, who was a mother of 2, 14 times. Brown took the firing at Dowell, who was a mother of 3, 8 times. Further, the DNA was recovered from one of the doors of Washington's vehicle, and it matched both Brown and Sampson. Video footage also implicated the 2 suspects. Prosecutors also revealed during a court hearing that Makado made 15 calls to a person who faced aggravated battery charges against one of the gun Dowell. The person Sampson made calls to was ultimately convicted as well. The motive behind the drill still remains unknown, but there may have been rumors that the two ladies were talking to them people and possibly may have contributed to one of the homies being set up at gunpoint in the past. After that hit, it also is believed that on September 20.
Yeah, I think I ain't saying this. I ain't confirming or denying this is why they did whatever they know whatever happened. But most time, if somebody go after girls and they not the like sadly, well I can't even say sadly because it's all sad, but the studs get hit more than the normal girls. That is kind of sad though. The whole situation is sad, but for them to go after them, they had to have done something. You either talk to the law or you set the homies up. One or the other, bro. You set somebody up or you was talking to the law. Cause come on, bro.
2017, Makado and HK would head over east to look for TB, who was supposedly from Taekwon World. Allegedly, when they spotted TB, they both hopped out and hit TB over 20 times in the head, face, and body, leaving TB in extremely critical condition, and TB later passed away at Northwestern Memorial Hospital. TB's demise was viewed as get back for HK's brother and Mac's close friend, T-Roy, who TB allegedly assassinated. Unfortunately for Makado, on January 9, 2018, Bro would be arrested for 99 White Girl's demise, where he could serve the next 5 years behind bars awaiting trial. That would end up being all the time he was able to serve, not because he was set free, but because on September 29, 2023, Makado will be found deceased, suspiciously in jail. At first, an overdose was believed to be the cause. It was thought by many that Makado was doing illegal substances to cope with the pressure and headache of having to deal with all the decisions he had made crashing down on him all at once. However, his family in a recent autopsy have also mentioned the alarming fact that while Mac was locked up, he had a brain tumor the whole time.
According to reports that dropped in the newspaper, Makado had a brain tumor, a tumor on his brain. He was telling his people too on the phone that he got problems with his head. He got severe headaches and shit. Police didn't get no about that shit. They sent his ass right back to his cell.
His family would say that he would complain about extreme headaches.
Yeah, if he was telling them that he got a headache, then one morning basically, if he was telling the law, the CO, that he got a headache, he telling the nurses, he go to the doctor, like I got this, and they didn't do nothing. Y'all didn't send this man to the hospital. Y'all are getting paid whether he's on the bus or he's in the bed. Y'all are still getting paid. The jail still gets paid. That's why when you go to jail, when the older people say get your money's worth, because you're getting paid while you're there. So therefore, get your money's worth. I'm talking about the working out. But if he was telling them people that and they did nothing, and he woke up one morning and didn't wake up one day, sue the law. Sue the jail, because they should have been on that. Because if anything else would have happened, that would have been anybody else with fame, like heavy fame, they would have did it for them.
Every single time
That's
that
crazy,
he was on
bro.
the phone. There was also a story that he had fell off the top bunk while he was asleep and hit his head, and that blunt force damage could have been what ended his life. But it just doesn't seem plausible. Granted, the tumor was there, but falling off the top bunk isn't as common as most might think. This is what has been feeding the rumors that Mac was either taken out by fellow inmates or the correctional officers in the jail. Makado's mother recently did an interview where she confirms that the overdose story was false.
But for the record, my son did not die of overdose.
Let's start there.
Yeah. He was just mishandled in there.
The wrong way.
Yeah, I had to find that on Facebook. They didn't call me or nothing. So.
You found out he passed away via Facebook?
Yeah.
Cook County Jail is infamous for its negligence. They have made the news plenty of times for the simple fact that dozens of inmates have lost their lives behind the gates with no legit explanation. The wild reality is we may never really know what happened to Mac, and his alleged families will never get the real closure they deserve. Just pure tragedy all across the board, if you ask me. Makado never really made a name for himself as a rapper, but according to folks from Chicago, bro was really from the streets and really about that life. The street fame serves its purpose when you in the street, but when you are in jail or trying to make a better life for you and yours, it really holds no weight, and that's a sad reality. In fact, the street fame hurts in the long run when you get caught up with the law and or lose your life. You know why? Because it forces people and potential supporters not to sympathize with your plight because they feel like you brought that upon yourself, your own demise. And as the saying goes, you live by the gun, you die by the gun. Unfortunately, many people don't even bother to ask, where did the gun come from in the first place? Makado 600 serves to be another Chicago youngin' that was dealt a bad hand and ultimately succumbed to the effects of the life and the karma that was accrued. A tragedy all the way around for him, his family, and the alleged victims of his actions. No wins here, man, at all. The only thing we can learn from this whole story is that in order to make it out here the right way, you gotta stay smart, stay alert, and stay real. I'm out, y'all.
Real talk though, bro. Like that statement that he said was real though, because about the you know how people say you live by it, you die by it, and then people don't even ask where it came from. Youngins, to the youngins before you decide to let me go get put on this hood. Find out why your hood is there, what they have done, and why are you beefing with the ops? If it don't sound like it's worth it to you, even though it shouldn't be worth it to you, you'll see.